Sorry, buds. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilka. I'm an empath, and I just like to do these little daily talks and how I see things. And ooh, things are getting spicy in their bits, I'd say. See, I believe in astrology and stuff, and freaking how it's playing out in people is evident, and how it's playing out all across the world. Whether you're, make the world is as big as you make it, right? So some people aren't big on technology, because it's not worth the bother. They change it all the time, or for whatever reason, why bother? Me, like, they change stuff all the time. I get to know where the settings and stuff are. Then, with creativity and all, like, people have to reinvent the wheel all the time, add stuff, take stuff away constantly. People don't leave anything alone. So, depending on how much you use it, some people just get to the point like, that's how you strip things away that no longer serve you. A lot of people do it. Their interests change. Sometimes they spend freaking hours and hours and, a lot of time and effort and get really super excited about that football bracket and freaking March. What is that? March Madness? The madness is how much time is spent away from things that are really more important on stupid stuff like that. But whatever. Everybody has their own experience in this incarnation, and depending on where your spiritual development is, it kind of tells, is it kind of a show as to what your interests are in, and the more people are interested in 3D stuff, earthly stuff, money, property, prestige, the more it tells me that they're grounded to this 3D earth, and they don't quite got the spiritual part side of it yet. Maybe they'll get it in this one, maybe they won't. I try and share my experience that I have with people. I got a bad back. I threw my back out. That's why I'm laying like this. So, but I just like to share my experience and how I put things together. Here's an example. Back there, that's Luna. My girl Luna. She came to me from South Carolina. Back in 2014, she was about an hour, 40 minutes an hour from being put down, and the rescue that I worked with. Speaking of, I didn't know I was going to talk about this when I put this shirt on this morning. Peace, love, and rescue. When I got her back in 2014, and she was going to be put down within the hour, unless she got a foster, and I was like, all right, I'll do it, and she was in South Carolina, right? So she travels on her Freedom Road ride all the way up, and she comes through St. Joe, Missouri, right? And I can't remember where in South Carolina, but all that'll part will come up in a second. It gets good. So when we came out, when that was in 2014, 2 years after that, or 15, 14, it's somewhere around there. Time's so fluid. I moved out to Oregon in August 2016, and obviously she came along with me, and we travel out 80, through these different points. And when we got here in 2016, it wasn't too long after that, there's the great eclipse that went across the United States, and there's a lot of freaking spiritual significance that came related to that. For example, like, it passed through 7 cities named for saints. St. Joe's one of them, in Missouri, and where she passed. Now, when the eclipse exited on the East Coast, where it exited, this is what I remember, because I did look it up at one point. She was like 56 miles from where the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse exited. Her name's Luna. That was her given name, right? So she got here. I still owe her a trip to the beach, because all my guys have been to the beach. Even Noble, who passed away, he got a day at the beach, but she hasn't gotten her day at the beach yet, because I know it's divine timing, but she'll get her day at the beach. I'm planning on a day at the beach for her, but and that'll complete her, because she knows this Luna knew better than the other Luna did. She was ahead of the game. She made the journey backwards. And she was almost laid to rest. She was almost killed. you know? So she's one of my destiny dogs, and they all have a story like that. I just want to share that one with Luna. So when I was I was listening to a story from the Ozarks, and they're talking about these new kids, and it's the kids, man. I know it's the kids that are gonna affect it, because it's these kids. Somewhere along the way, people got away from accountability and taking responsibility from themselves. I was always taught that if you make a mistake, and if you recognize that, admit it. Admit when you're wrong. Get that wrong off you. You don't wanna be known as that gal or guy or that person that doesn't ever admit when they're wrong, but they're wrong all the time. Because everybody's wrong. We're humans. It's all just part of having a human experience. This is just our soul sack. This is just our soul sack, and how much money people spend to modify and adjust and to make it look right. To get a picture of their mind of how they think they should look or act. How much money they spend into that. To me, it just takes away. It tells me that they're think of themselves as either missing, lacking, or very small in spirit. Yeah. Because people that have big spirits, they don't need all that stuff. They don't need to be told and validated and all that stuff. Of course, it's nice, to be recommended by your peers and things like that, but it's not, it don't sustain you, and that's absence of ego. And, but these kids are coming back in, and mom, always take responsibility for your actions. She gave me a lot of freedom, and and I had to deal with the consequences. And how many people don't have to deal with the consequences of their own actions anymore? They just don't. They just throw money at it, or move, or just deny. There's a lot of that. How much deny? People acting and conducting their lives in a certain kind of way, and then just like blatantly saying, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. But every move, every action you were doing verifies, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. My mom, and during my course of my life, she used to lie about just lie for the sake of lying. So I know I freaking hate people that lie. I hate it. I hate when I lie. It's just, when you don't give people all the information that they need to know to come up with the decisions that's best for them, because you're lying by omission, holding things back that that they should know to make an informative decision, but you purposely are holding stuff back and have your own little angles. That's manipulation, and that's bad karma. And people are just like, it doesn't matter, because they keep getting benefits. Because all these people are getting, their incomes are getting more money. But you find it inside, they're not doing respectable things with all of their manifested abundance. So at one point, if that flow doesn't maintain, it's going to stop, because it stopped with you, because everybody keeps collecting what they want, and it just stops with them. No, you got to keep that, pay it forward. That's why if I ever make, when I start to make money, 49%, I'll keep 49% for me. As extra taxes, because they got to take their cut first, so they can keep perpetuating their fake wars. You notice how just in time for D-Day, a freaking 9-year-old man jumping out, dude, whatever, I mean, they're trying to glorify war again to justify, so when you send your sons and daughters over to freaking bullshit freaking Iran, whatever, make up war conflict, because they've been doing it since Vietnam for sure. Longer than that, I'm sure. Send your sons and daughters, because I don't have kids, and if I did have kids, I sure as hell would tell them not to go in the freaking military. It ain't even worth it, dude. My back is wrenched because of that, because freaking crew chiefs can't freaking do their own jobs that have no accountability, lazy. It's still lazy. People are still complaining about, because they still have the same vibrational people, slackers going in the same jobs and doing the same thing. What's funny about the military is that they get so much money, and there's so many. Think about how many lazy people are in the. I know so many people that just freaking aren't even in weight standards, and this was because they always, fat men always told me that I needed to go to the gym, as with their rank, and I didn't have any. It's just weird. We're not even built the same, But what they're finding out is like, oh, all these people haven't been doing the work. you know, and there's plenty of other, why can't these military members go out and help with the infrastructure, you know, go dig some ditches, that'll freaking put you back into, that'll make you healthier so you can live longer and spend time with your families, right, because you care so much about that, right, you know, and all the, and I just remember, you know, my test that I scored, I was like a 96 in mechanics or something like that. It was like 98, 96 or 98. It was freaking so high, you know, and because that's my aptitude, you know. I have like the mind of an engineer. It's just people, I didn't have teachers that understood how it worked and how it could help me to advance, you know. They just said, you're weird, and then I gave me a bad grade that I was satisfactory, you know. So as I grew up and I pushed and I pushed, and I was like, no, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, you know. You know, so my test scores, I've been tested for everything, you know. People try and find stuff wrong with me because, you know, because I know how to self-soothe. And in a society where people just don't freaking do that. Look, every day there's a mass shooting, another person who doesn't self-soothe. You know, every day somebody else is shorting out because they don't know how to self-soothe. And what are you having to soothe yourself from? Just not being accountable for your own actions and not taking responsibility for yourself, you know. We used to make fun of, you know, the mechanics because you have like the people that, the services people that worked in the kitchen. God bless, you know, I love food and cooking and stuff like that. But, I don't know. I would never do it as like a career because then I would hate it. But so you have, you know, the people with test scores. You have like the people that they don't have a lot of aptitude for things. They put them in the kitchen, right? And then right about that, but they can read instructions, take instructions. So everybody needs to eat. So we'll put them in the kitchen. And then right above that, you have the cops. You have the easily programmable, the cops, right? And they do their military career, and maybe, you know, they're good cops and they want to help people and protect and serve and all that stuff. I see very, very few examples of those, you know. And if you got time to freaking anyway, so and then, you know, they get out and then they become, you know, cop, and it's just all a club. It's all a club, but depending on the vibration of the person, like attracts like, and they'll end up, you know, so if they're a bully, freaking misogynistic, freaking meathead, they're gonna, you know, and they grew up in a, you know, went off and lived in a little someplace else for a while, and they go back home, you know, they're gonna fall back in line with all their fellow meatheads, and then that is like the main vein of that vibration, you know. So I'm never gonna live big city again. Once I move from here, I'm never gonna live in a city again. I will live in a small town. I don't care how freaking podunk it is. You know, I got to drive an hour to the airport. I don't even care, because the vibration, we are the sum total of all parts. So when you live in a big city and you have, you know, people with greed and all that low vibrational stuff, the more you have it, the higher it's going to bring the number of people with that dissonance up. So there's going to be more dissonance, right? So you live in a smaller town, people like it quiet, they don't want the hustle and bustle. Usually people that like the quiet on the outside are more quiet on the inside, from what I've found, you know. They don't like the match the chaos and the calamity and things like that. So, you know, like attracts like. And people are finding what is more in line with them, and they're waking up to an idea that all the stuff that they thought they were in alignment is absolutely not who you know. As Mom and I were talking this morning, and all ended up, because I'm getting kind of long today, we were talking this morning, it's like, Mom, people don't realize my train of thought just totally derailed. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Maybe I'll do another video later on about that one. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.